Hey, welcome back aboard to Living Simple with Demp. It's a little chilly this afternoon. We're starting a new thing called How To, as we're talking about different tools used here on the homestead. Earlier, we talked about a hammer, how a hammer can be both constructive and destructive. A claw hammer. You need one if you hadn't got one. Well, now we want to talk about a simple thing. Two types of screwdrivers. I'm going to keep this simple. You already know it, but I'm going to assume that if you're between the ages of 25 and 35 and you're starting a homestead, you really need to know the difference between these and keep one in a toolbox or in a box somewhere that you can use handy. The first one is called a screwdriver standard. You see at the top of it how it's flat? That's called a standard screwdriver. Now, you can also use screws, which I hate these screwdrivers. I hate them because it keeps slipping off the end of that right there. There's still some screws out there like this. But if you're using one, you're going to need one. They come in different sizes. It doesn't matter what color they are or how small they are or how big they are. If they're flat across the top, it's called a standard. There's only two kinds. Keep it simple, rule of thumb, is a standard and then what's called a Phillips head. This is a standard screwdriver for standard screws. It's great for unscrewing those standard screws, many times old-timey screws that's already there. Most people now are putting in Phillips heads, which I'll get to in just a second. But you need a standard. Hey, it's also great to get into places and knock stuff out if you can't dig into and around it. So, a standard screwdriver, as I said, they come in all kind of sizes. You can get bigger than this. I have some large ones. And then you can get some very small ones, like this, for smaller screws. A Hero Jack behind me. Now, the other kind you want to get is not only a standard screwdriver, but you're going to need a Phillips head. Now, Phillips head is that right there. It looks like a star drill on the end of it. It's got those pointed places. It's designed to put into a screw that is a Phillips head. You see those knots? This fits right into there, and it'll back it out. Now, later, we're going to talk about a power drill. Now you can use them with batteries. Everybody needs one of those puppies. But today, in this particular one, on how to use and what to know, is a Phillips screwdriver and a standard screwdriver. You need these two in your toolbox, in a box somewhere, in the back of your truck, in your shop, in your shed, whatever you've got there on the homestead. Get them. Hey, I find them all the time at yard sales. I'll go into a place and they got old tools laying there. I buy them all. Just make them an offer. I've got tons of these different screwdrivers. When I break one, I just throw it away and grab another one out of that big box I got. Need to know how to use a standard screwdriver for standard screws and then a Phillips head. Now, there's all kinds of different heads, but 95% of the time, you can use a standard and a Phillips. Get you one if you hadn't got one. You can get them at your local hardware, or you can go to Walmart and get them. You can get them really cheap. I'd start with just getting some. Doesn't matter. I wouldn't necessarily go buy the high dollar ones. You're not a mechanic, but you're going to need some around the homestead. Get you a Phillips head and a standard screwdriver. Learn to use them. They're handy around the house, and they're certainly handy around working on a homestead. All right, how to use. Today we talked about two types of screwdrivers, the basic two, a standard and a Phillips head. There you go. Hey, thank you so much for being a part of Living Simple with Demp. I hope you enjoyed this today. We're keeping it simple things we need to know on a homestead. These are certain tools. We're going to talk about different kinds. I'm not going into a mechanic. We're not going into trying to build a construction site, but basic tools, make sure you've got Phillips head and a standard. Thank you so much. Click down below and subscribe to our channel. Tell your friends. Forward this out. Share with your friends. Hey, go to Living Simple with Demp in the historical Alabama Black Belt. Welcome aboard. There's going to be a lot more coming. Thank you so much.